fund is to invest in incubation stage, accelerator stage, seed stage, startup stage, early stage, and growth stage companies in India with focus on social media, mobile, analytics, and cloud, IoT, and fintech. Prior to setting up the fund, he was heading operations at Mumbai Angels and Bangalore Angels, leading angel investment forums in India as president. His experience also include corporate management functions in medium and large organizations, investment in startups, project management, joint ventures, and business development. After heading a branch office at Century Ryan, a BK Birla Group company, he moved to Business Access India Private Limited, providing consulting service to Scandinavian companies from diverse sectors, establishing their presence in Asian markets. Then moved to Transinia Biomedical Limited, India's largest manufacturer and exporter of biomedical equipment. Prior to joining Mumbai Angels, he headed new projects and made investment in startups with Arthron Group, a telecom, IT, and energy group. He had help in closing approximately 6 startups deals with over 100 crore rupees investment and has served on board of 5 companies and is involved with various incubation centers as mentor in India and outside India. He is fairly involved with the startup fraternity and regularly advises entrepreneurs for strategic direction. Mentoring startups is my passion, his passion, and he also advises government and industrial bodies on the same. We are extremely happy to have such a person who can help us in troubleshooting in different stages of development of startup. And he is a regular speaker at both the domestic and international circuit on startups and early stages of investment. We hereby invite Sunil Anil Joshi sir, managing partner at Unicorn India Ventures, Mumbai Metropolitan Region for this session. Sir, please.
Thank you and good afternoon to all of you. Vimal, I think alumni of your college where we have invested, Gen Robotic, spoke very high about institute and said I should take out some time to share my views about entrepreneurship and essential skills of innovation. So happy to be part of this series and would be delighted to share my views how things are changing on entrepreneurship side and how students straight out of college or also during college are getting into entrepreneurship and what has changed over a period of time, where at least I graduated 25, 26 years back. And the one thing which was important, on our mind was to get, campus placement and to be acquainted with, industry placement. We were encouraged to do internship, what we would call that, summer internship during third year of our engineering. And objective was to, get acquainted to the kind of environment an organization offer. And that was mainly from the objective of, preparing student to, corporate world rather, employment, uh, environment. And I had also gone through that. And when we graduated, there was nothing like, entrepreneurship. The only thing which we were taught to, be good in studies and get prepared for a formal job once, we passed out from the university. Fast forward, things have changed a lot, especially last 10 years. We have seen a very different evolution of entrepreneurship in India. Yesterday, I was not yesterday, day before yesterday, I was judging on a Thai woman global entrepreneurship competition, and there were some 8 teams, all led by woman entrepreneur. And to my surprise, there was one team which also won the competition. One of the winner in the competition was from third year of engineering, right? A very surprising and welcome change, because they have yet to complete their final year. They're in third year. They will complete third year, and then they will go to fourth year. And they are already in business. They have incorporated a proper private limited company. So you can imagine how things have changed fast. Look at I don't know how many of you know about Nikki.ai, which is again a student led company, and all the founders, three co-founders, are from IIT Kharagpur. They chose to drop out of IIT Kharagpur in second year. Now imagine, third year I can still understand, but dropping out from an institute like IIT Kharagpur in second year to fulfill their dream of entrepreneurship is basically telling about how things are changing at institute level, where students are willing to take risk and work on their ideas. And this has happened more because the entire ecosystem have changed. There is acceptance across stakeholders. Government is keenly promoting and also spending a lot. I don't know if you're aware, but I think there are active 60 accelerators which are associated with some college, mostly engineering colleges, and maybe few with management colleges, but largely I think they are associated with engineering colleges across India, and not restricted to any metro or mini metro, but deep in tier 2 tier 3 cities. So government has spent a lot, is giving wholeheartedly lot of financial support, helping those colleges to build a center where a student can go and explore his idea, can work on making of prototype, getting access to mentors. So things have changed a lot. I think India have evolved. I think this year we have seen more unicorns coming in than what we have seen in last 10 years. What does that mean? That India is actually evolving and is growing in terms of entrepreneurship. And if this trend continues, then we will see more and more students who would opt out of campus and would head toward entrepreneurship. What does that mean? That institutes are not only required to groom students on their technical or commercial ability, but also need to inculcate a few lessons on entrepreneurship, so that when they move out of campus and start their journey, while they are good on their technicality aspect, they also need some background on commercial aspects for business, right? And hence it becomes very important for universities, campuses, colleges, institutes to think on what additional they need to do apart from imparting regular courses, right? Theory classes, practical classes. It's very important to also provide an environment to students to go through initial learnings on how to incorporate company, access to experts, why understanding legal language is important, right? For us, at least during college days, for me, legal was only to file, civil and criminal cases. But legal is much beyond that civil and criminal cases, right? It is very much required for setting up of the company, setting up of the contracts, defining the, deliverables between two parties. And unless until you have got exposed to it, your journey on entrepreneurship will remain incomplete, right? As you grow, you will have experts taking over their role, but initially, students, or entrepreneur or founder who are starting, it's very important for them to, be aware about, all these innovative, aspects. And trust me, I had been traveling a lot. Of course, last year had been, bad for everyone, but once things started opening up, I again, started moving out, and had been, very active with, campus discussion involvement for students who are looking at entrepreneurship. And in my view, in any given, institutes, at least 20% of the population, is interested. Of course, the entire batch is interested, but I have seen at least 20% of the population, would like to wish to explore their ideas, would like to wish to experiment, on their ideas, work on proof of concept, and then, build an organization around it. So it has become, very, eminent, to provide an environment, to students, which not only, help them, get groomed on, academics, but also help them to get, some bit on entrepreneurship, and also providing them, necessary skill sets. Right now things are changing. Nowadays we very conveniently speak about artificial intelligence, we conveniently speak about, machine learning or computer vision, right? I'm sure the, academic or syllabus have changed a lot since, I graduated. I'm a mechanical engineer, but I'm pretty sure things have changed a lot. We I learned, first lesson on computer when I was in second year of engineering, and that also was Fortran and Foxpro. And things have changed a lot. Now, kids in class fifth, sixth, seventh, are getting exposed to languages, right? They talk directly, C plus, C plus plus, and then from there they move to other languages. So things are changing, and changing for good. So it is, very important to stay connected and tuned to, all these changes, and, help preparing students to, face this, new welcoming environment on entrepreneurship, with relatively more from knowledge perspective. So things have changed a lot. Incidentally, I am also, on board of, few incubators, one in Goa, one in Pondicherry, one in Siliguri, of course, actively involved in Rajasthan, and Mumbai, where I'm based, and I'm also actively working with Kerala Startup Mission. I'm also on, their, investment committee on entrepreneurship side. So, a very exciting phase, and I'm sure, all students, would wish to know as much as possible apart from academics, to keep themselves, aligned with, requirement for, entrepreneurship. So with that, I would, rest my talk, and would encourage if we can have an interactive session, because I can keep talking, but I realized that, all this virtual world, of course, they've helped us stay connected, but, it's monologue, one-way communication are not very helpful. So I'm sure there would be, students or, faculty who wish to, talk and have interactive session. I will encourage for that. So if there are any questions, please feel free to speak. You can switch on your camera and we can do an interactive session. And if permits in good times, would love to visit your campus. Vimal has spoken a lot about your campus. So, any question or anything? Any sharing of interesting journey? So, very interesting. Before you can gather your thoughts. I was exposed to or was introduced to Gen Robotic. Your seniors. I'm talking to students, and even faculty would be very happy to know that from where I saw them and where they are exceptional set of kids we have come across. So I was visiting Trivandrum, and I was asked to meet this group of youngsters who were working on some interesting prototype, and they said it is something called robot. And then I visited during my one of the visit to Trivandrum, and that time I had an opportunity to interact with Rashid and Vimal and other co-founders. And when I visited, they were working out of a very small room which was provided to them by institute, and they were working. I think it was like Kerala Startup Mission, and they had made one prototype out of plywood, cardboard, and some chains hanging. And I said, "What is this?" They said, "This is a robot." I said, "From what angle it looks like robot?" And then they explained me that it's a very complex system they are building, which not only do mechanized job, but with a feel of human touch. And they were building something to help avoiding manual scavenging. I don't know how many of you had an opportunity to look at their product, but it is one of the most appreciated product in its class, and they're doing wonderful job. And it's also one of the fastest growing company in our portfolio. So interesting. It takes a lot of courage, to come out of your comfort zone, or forego potential income if you join some good company as a fresher. But rewards of hard work always pays. So I think about how I got introduced to Beamer and team, and then how we invested in robotic. Good. So anybody would like to open up and ask something?
I hereby request the participants to participate in this interaction.
Hello, Anil sir. Hello. Hello.
Yes,
Anil
sir.
sir, how can we give motivation to our kids to start a business? Means most of the people are worrying about their family support and all. They are having fear of failures and all. Then how can we, as a teacher, how can we ensure empower them to start any business like what you are explaining and all? Sir.
So, sir, it's a very interesting question, and in fact, today, situation is different. At our time, it was much more difficult. If we would have started, the another, worry our parents would be, that how we will get our, son married if he's not working. So at least
Yeah, yeah.
situation has changed a lot, sir. But I'll tell you, I don't know if institute have accelerator or not. But if not, then I would suggest you can apply through this Niti Ayog, and help setting up this incubation center, which not only help students to benefit from the infrastructure, which is in most cases fully funded by government. So colleges don't have much to depend on financial aspect initially, at least when they're starting. And slowly then institutes can build through sponsorship or whatever donation, or some revenue generating exercise. The beauty about this program is that a decent amount of grant is provided, which is non-payable, right? And this grant ranges anywhere between, sir, 5 lakhs to 20 lakhs. And this is only to support idea. I think, something in range of 5 to 20 lakh, is a decent amount for students to experiment their idea. Even if they fail, there is a reasonable amount of safety net for them to at least, have some earning, which they can use, while they are working on. At least there will be no financial burden. Secondly, sir, there are, several other programs, which are supported by government, and other, institutes which actually provide financial and other support, to students. So I think one thing we have to tell, students, that even if they fail, there is nothing wrong. A failed entrepreneur is more valued than who have not tried. The thing has changed a lot. It's very very high level of regard for entrepreneurs who have failed. They can always go back and look for job, because there are many companies who want to absorb people who haven't failed. So that is on downside. But imagine if your idea succeed, then sky is the limit. So I think nothing more than this can help motivating students, right? And also at this young age, I am sure, at least a few people who don't have baggages, or who doesn't have financial difficulty, should certainly try, right? The people who come from humble background, certainly they don't have choice. In those cases, they can work for few years and then slowly build up to start their business. But people who can start immediately without much, like some cases parents are working, or come from decent background, where at least monthly needs are not a worry problem. There I think they should go and try. So there are several incubator, accelerator, across country. I'm sure to find which suits their requirement, and they should get started. So, sir, failing is not an issue. I think it's a kind of another add-on to your profile. Money is also not issue. There are several programs run by state government and central government, encouraging young minds to experiment their idea. And these are all grants. It's not something they have to take loan, or they have to repay. If they fail, no worry, government will absorb it. But they should give a a serious attempt on that. So, sir, in my view, students shouldn't fear. They should certainly work on their idea. The only request I have, think big and think on something which is really workable. Just don't get into entrepreneurship for sake of starting, because my friend is also entrepreneur, I should also be entrepreneur. Do it if you think your idea is really big breakthrough. Those are my views, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Hello, sir. I have a question. My name is Vishal. Sir, can you suggest some practical methods to cultivate entrepreneurship mindset among the students?
Oh, so there are several, of course, because of pandemic now everything has become virtual. So it is more convenient for students, because every college now is doing virtual event for fest. Participate in those events. If you can't join as an one of the participant, I think you can always join as a visitor. Look what they're doing, see how things are changing. IIT Mumbai does a wonderful fest every year. I think they're back to back 3 events. Kharagpur does, Kanpur does, and even all NITs and triple IITs are doing. That is one. I would suggest invite experts to speak to students while they're in college, 3rd year, 4th year. Call people from different field. Call successful entrepreneurs to take guest lecture. I think when they hear their story, when they hear, how they have gone through, their own challenges and still came out as a victorious, right? I think will certainly motivate students. So students need to take, extra effort. I don't think, college can do everything. So, among students, especially when you are in second and third year, do form, some kind of, committee where you can shortlist, whom to call, ensure at least you have, one visitor coming every month, right? If not every week, one visitor should come to campus every month, and should speak to students for 2 hours. I think that should be a good motivational start for students. And if you are able to do that, I'm sure faculty or your college would be more than happy to help you.
Yeah.
So participate, network, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can always start with calling successful entrepreneur from your college to begin with.
Yeah, very good, sir. Thank you. Sir, another point of view, as an investor, what are the factors that you consider while investing for a startup?
So there are several things. I think it will be still too early for students to know, but happy to share that during early days, for us, it's very important to evaluate the background of founders, right? That is one very important aspect for any investor, because during early stage, it's only idea, and it's that one entrepreneur or two entrepreneur or three entrepreneur or founders. So we spend a lot of time evaluating entrepreneurs, and then of course merit of idea, what is the solution, whether you have any IP, intellectual property rights, what are your execution plan, have you made any prototype, has any customer tried it. And not the least, but if investor invest, they certainly need to realize their investment. So if I'm investing in stock market, I can sell my shares, but if I invest in privately limited company, the company can only offer me an exit point if they are growing, right? So these are few of the factors, and I'm sure you can Google and check. These are normally same for everyone.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Yeah. Anything else, or we have completed our timing? Then enjoy talking to you. If you have more questions, please let me know. I guess
Hello,
nothing.
sir. Hello, sir. Oh, one more question, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hello, sir. Sir, is there any gender bias in entrepreneurial culture? You can see. Means I have seen so many engineers and so many startup teams, but most of them are belongs to male category. Then what we can do for our counterparts?
So, sir, I don't think that gender bias is there, as far as investment is concerned. I think even government, have a lot of initiative only around women entrepreneurship. I think girls have also to, come forward and experiment their idea. I think days are gone, where people were worried about certain family responsibilities. But if those are the challenges, then I would suggest take care of your family needs, and then parallelly work on it. You need not have to be fully worrying about it. But one comfort I would certainly give, that there are no gender biases as far investments are concerned. The only thing a person herself has to motivate and get started. I think schemes are there are actually applicable to both men and women, whereas women entrepreneur have some extra privileges from government, so they are better placed to get initial support. So the only thing is get started, sir. What else I can say? there are no gender biases in this. If somebody choose to work, sky is the limit. If somebody choose to wait, watch, and then start, then I think that is also fine.
Sir, not regarding the investment point of view. I am asking about the means group of entrepreneurs. They are coming up. No,
See, so
that
that's why I'm saying that like I don't think there would be any issue about founders are mixed, right? Gender mixed. It's more about I've seen it, sir, because normally, no, I'm not sure whether my reading is correct, but girls prefer having a specific path till time they get married, or very less percentage of girls have different specific career goal, right? They would don't mind getting placed and work on job, but when it comes to entrepreneurship, it needs a different kind of commitment, right? And it's a very unique age they come from. So at one side they are completing graduation, on the other side parents would be thinking of getting them settled. So it's a mixed twilight zone, sir. I only would like to say that world is open to everyone. If you are willing to take a step, I think there is a lot of support, sir.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Because it will be not appropriate on my part to comment on. I don't know what are the family obligations. Everyone has different. When it comes to, I also have a daughter, so I would allow her to experiment what she want to experiment. But this one is a sensitive topic, so I leave respective girls to find it. The only parting note I would say that if you choose, there are systems to support you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, anything else? So I guess we're done. So thanks for having me, and glad such a lovely audience. Not much to interact. But I'm sure sometime in when normalcy resume, then maybe get an opportunity to interact in person. And thanks for allowing to share my views. Glad to be part of this event. uh, Thank you very much and wish you all luck.
I request one of the participants to represent your feedback.
Sorry. So I can log out if we are done. Hello.
Hello.
Can I log out if we are done? Okay. Thank you.
Sir,
Yeah.
we are extremely happy to have you such an interactive session with our participants. There's the opportunity to share your perspectives and different aspects of entrepreneurship.
No, pleasure is mine. Thanks for giving me the opportunity. Hope I get more opportunity to interact with you all. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Bye.
The next session will be starting on 2:10. We have shared a feedback form in your chat box. I hereby request each and every one of you